Hey, what is happening, everybody? I'm excited to bring another young professional conversation with my new friend, Miss Destiney Parker Thompson. How are you today?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. You know, you and I connected a few weeks ago, and I really enjoyed the conversation that we had. So I thought it would be fun for us to do it again. But this time, let's record it for the whole world to see. How's that sound?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I can't just do anything small. So if we're having a conversation, I'm like, everybody needs to be involved with this one. So
I agree.
yeah, perfect. So do me a favor, if you would introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about who you are and maybe what you do.
Certainly. So I am a Louisiana native. I moved to North Carolina with my husband and at the time just my daughter for law school. I recently graduated from Campbell Law, where Dean Rich Leonard is the dean, and I passed the July bar a couple of months ago. So I am the newest attorney at Stubbs and Purdue, PA, and I am pending licensure, waiting on my swearing in.
Well, how exciting is that? I mean, that's pretty cool. So congratulations to you on that. And what was that like going through that all now? I mean, through a pandemic. How was studying for the bar and taking the bar and all that sort of stuff, today?
It was definitely different. I was a little worried because we had to sit the entire time with a mask on, but the North Carolina State Bar did an excellent job executing all of the necessary procedures to ensure that everyone was safe, which I appreciate them for doing. And it was a very smooth process. Once we came in there, I think everyone was so focused, and I can only speak for myself, but it seemed as though everyone was so focused on doing what they needed to do to ensure that they were successful that I don't think anyone really thought about the pandemic while we were in it. But leading up to it, I definitely had to implement some practice procedures that were not ordinary, such as practicing typing with a mask on and not pulling it down and things of that nature. So definitely unorthodox, but fun nonetheless.
Yeah, good point. I wouldn't have thought through that. So those are things that we probably didn't think about or don't prepare for, but really need to. So yeah, that's interesting. So what area of law did you end up in, and like, what's your specialty? And, tell us a little bit more about that if you would.
So I do a little bit of civil litigation, and I think I'm going to be doing a little bit more of that in the future. But Stubbs and Purdue is one of the best bankruptcy firms in the Eastern District of North Carolina. The owner, Mr. Treywick Stubbs, has been practicing law for over 30 years. He's been around for a very long time. The firm is experienced, has very experienced lawyers. Ms. Lori Biggs has been practicing law for almost 20 years, and Mr. Kroll has been here for almost a decade. So they specialize in bankruptcy, but we do quite a bit of civil litigation as well. I knew nothing about bankruptcy a year ago, but one of my professors and director of advocacy saw fit to throw me in the fire for a bankruptcy competition. And I had the pleasure of working with someone on a very complicated Chapter 11 bankruptcy issue. We competed in Washington, D.C., and we won that competition. We took first place, and I was named Best Oralist there. And then we went on to New York, and we did not place in that competition, but I was named the best advocate out of over 160 advocates. And I fell in love with bankruptcy, how complex it is, how diverse it is. So we do a lot of bankruptcy, but we also dabble in civil litigation, some real estate and family law as well.
Wow, that's super interesting. Very cool. And congratulations on those competitions. So how does that, like, what brings you to a networking group like this? And maybe even the question is, do you think that, is there an opportunity for the 5,000 plus young professionals in here to talk bankruptcy? When do they start talking bankruptcy if they have to? Or, I'm guessing that's kind of a tricky area, or could be a lot of emotions wrapped up in that. But, tell me a little bit about, where you see you can help serve some people in this group and what you might be able to do to help.
Certainly. So to your point, the first time that we spoke, I really enjoyed our conversation. I really enjoyed the purpose behind your group, bringing people together to have genuine and non-awkward type conversations, just a place where people can be themselves and really connect and really network where they're comfortable and at the level that they want to do so. So that was initially the reason that I wanted to become a part of the Young Professionals organization. And I appreciate you for accepting me and then reaching out. You're very active, and that's something that I think all of us as young professionals need and can benefit from. To your second question, bankruptcy can be very uncomfortable for some people, but most people don't truly understand what it means to file bankruptcy. I certainly didn't know what it meant to file bankruptcy. You don't always have to be broke to speak candidly when you're filing bankruptcy. Sometimes you just realize or anticipate that there will be more bills or more debt than there will be money. And you try to get ahead of that. And you can file for Chapter 7, you can file for Chapter 13. Those are your more consumer, everyday individual working people. Or you may be a business that wants to file Chapter 11 so you can reorganize and ensure that once you're out of bankruptcy, you have a successful business intact that is still profitable for you. So a lot of people are under the misconception that in order for you to, or the misperception, excuse me, in order for you to file bankruptcy, you have to be in financial turmoil. And that is the case sometimes, but that's not always the case, especially with everything that's going on with the pandemic. There are mortgage companies, as I'm sure you know, that are continuing and issuing forbearances for their customers or their clients to ensure that they're not defaulting on their mortgage. And there are landlords and apartment complexes that are giving grace periods to ensure that people aren't being evicted during this time. And if people feel like there's going to come a time where there may be more money than funds, or there's going to be a time where I need to do some financial planning, even if you're unsure, reach out to us at Stubbs and Purdue. Don't do it on your own. So many people think, oh, I have to have this particular issue, or it has to be this bad. We want to talk to people and help people before it gets that bad. But that's when people should think about reaching out, is when they're anticipating some type of financial hardship, or if they're at the point where they're at financial hardship, because we can help you plan as well.
Wow. I mean, that's so good to hear. And I was one of those people until 10 seconds ago. Like, I didn't know, like, I really had no idea. And so I appreciate you clearing that up. And I'm guessing that there are others that feel the same. And so what a fantastic opportunity to just have somebody on the proactive side, right, before things are too late or too bad, to have a conversation with. So I really appreciate you offering that to the group. And say there's people out here that want to connect and want to learn more, or have some questions. What is the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Sure. I'm always active on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has been so beneficial in connecting and allowing me to network with other people. And it's not limited to just professionals. So if anyone wants to reach out, you can do so via a message on LinkedIn, or you can call our offices. And I'm happy to provide that number and my email address, or you can visit our website at stubbspurdue.com, and you can select any lawyer and they'd be happy to have a consultation, or even just a discussion on what your options are, or if this is even the right path for you.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's great. I think the website is probably a perfect place for people to start. And so they'll be able to connect through that, and they can connect with you on LinkedIn. And so I'm super grateful that we had this conversation today. And I'm certain that this is going to reach somebody that was looking exactly for this information right now, because that's just how it works. And so I'm glad that you were here and you took the time to connect with me. I'm really grateful for our friendship and our business connection so far. So is there anything else you want to add? Did we miss anything before we wrap up for today?
I don't think we necessarily missed anything, but just to anyone that's watching or anyone that may come across this, don't take on your financial issues alone. Let your problems become our problems, and we can solve them together, because it's no secret that there is a financial crisis that is looming. And so many people, when they think bankruptcy, they think the most negative thing, and it's actually a fresh start. It's a fresh start. It's a new chance to give some financial stability and relief to yourself. So, and we don't just do bankruptcy, we do civil litigation, real estate as well. So if you have an issue or anything that you think scratches the surface of law or bankruptcy, give us a call, let us help you, and we'll be happy to just chat with you and see what your options are, because everybody needs someone, and who better than us at Stubbs and Purdue?
No doubt. I totally agree. And wow, what a just sense of relief and feeling of just that stress coming off your shoulders to have that fresh start, if that's what you need. So thank you for clearing up so many questions I had, and thank you for offering this, this valuable resource to everybody in the group. So I appreciate your time. It's been very nice, and I look forward to our next conversation.
Certainly. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
The pleasure was mine. Have an awesome day. Raleigh Young Professionals, thanks for checking out another member spotlight. We're excited to bring you more of these, so stay tuned for the next one.